So the Bitcoin chart is looking very, very bullish right now, although there are a bunch of interesting things going on in the traditional banking sector. We are seeing that banks outside the US are also having some issues. We're going to talk about all those today. We're going to talk about the responses from the government and how this is gearing up to maybe make this chart actually play out. Welcome to Everything Currency. This is a show where we talk about everything crypto and mo. I'm your host Jay, and today I want to first get into what's going on over here at Credit Suisse. So Credit Suisse, I call it Stussy, or I don't know why I call it Stussy all the time, but it's Credit Suisse. Their shares dropped today because they were having some issues. Just another bank right now having issues from probably the Fed reducing liquidity from the overall global markets. And then these banks are having a lot of problems right now. So the Swiss government comes out and says it will bail out Credit Suisse. I'm gonna keep saying Stussy throughout this whole video. I'm just letting you know that right now. So Credit Stussy, if necessary, to stabilize systemic risk right now. The Swiss government is working with Credit Suisse to find ways to stabilize the bank. So this is what they're talking about when they say that these banks have gotten too big to fail. So they can just do all this crap. They can buy the wrong assets. They can do whatever they want with depositors' money. And they are so interconnected with the entire financial system without a competitor that is really viable to them that the government's going to end up having to bail them out anyways. And just like we've seen over there at SVB, they're probably going to take out some huge bonuses when this happens. I'm not saying that about Credit Suisse, but you know, that's what happened with SVB. They took out some pretty nice bonuses before the whole collapse hit. But anyways, so right here, you know, what is the response to the government saying, hey, if they need it, we're gonna give it to them? They say, yeah, we're gonna need about 50 billion Swiss francs to make sure that we are stable, and they're gonna use that for liquidity or whatever. So similar things happening in the US right now. The US is creating a program for banks to say like, hey, look, you guys can borrow some money for up to a year, and you know, make sure that you guys don't ruin the whole financial system in the short term. So that's pretty interesting to see that, hey, the response to this banking system is, if you guys need liquidity, we'll go ahead and give you some for a limited amount of time. Very interesting right there. So I'll put this article in the description for you guys who want to figure out more about like what's really going on behind the scenes, how this is different from 2008, because a lot of people are comparing it to the last financial crisis, which if you haven't seen the movie Margin Call, you should watch that movie Margin Call, because it kind of goes and lets you know kind of what really happened. Love that movie. That movie's dope.
I'd like to speak with the analyst who seems to have stumbled across this mess.
Certainly. That would be Peter Sullivan right here.
Oh, Mr. Sullivan, you're here. Good morning. Maybe you could tell me what you think is going on here. And please, speak as you might to a young child or a golden retriever. It wasn't brains that got me here, I can assure you of that.
But right here it says, bailout or not, did the Federal Reserve Bank, why do I keep saying all these things that are not even there? Did the federal government bail out Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank? Basically, the difference was they're giving the money back to the customers of these banks and not the institutions, because remember, the customers deposited more than 250,000, and the government is coming in and saying, hey, we'll cover those people, because right now they're only insured up to a certain amount. The interesting thing is there's $100 billion in this fund, so that it wouldn't come from taxpayers. They have this fund that they all contributed to, and it's $100 billion in it, and they're all going to be using that for like the next year to go ahead and get some liquidity. My opinion is that that money is going to run out quick, because there's going to be other banks that have issues. I already have people who are suffering in my own life that I know that are suffering from this SVB bank going down, because I live in Silicon Valley, and a lot of these companies around here were banking with this SVB bank, and you know what? They don't have access to their funds. My friends don't have jobs. That's just the way it is right now. And like I was saying in my crypto walk video, I think this contagion is going to happen pretty quicker than people realize. Like in a month from now or so, they'll run the numbers and say, hey, unemployment exploded because these banks didn't have their money, or these depositors didn't have their money to go ahead and pay their employees and stuff like that. And that's why this federal government is really stepping in right now and saying, hey, we can't have that happen. So kind of interesting. They kind of have to step in. They kind of have to inject liquidity, or else it's really bad for just everybody. So let's look at this Bitcoin chart then. We can see right here on this daily chart right here, looks very interesting. We've been at this resistance, testing it for, quite a bit since June of 22. We've been coming up here and getting rejected at this level for a very long time. And the more times we come up and try to test it, sooner or later we're going to break through it, right? So when we look at the weekly chart, let's look a little bit more. I've been watching this level, this 200 moving average. Something that I just noticed down here on the MACD is that this has been going up for quite a bit, and this has been going straight for quite a bit, giving me a little bit more of a reason to get kind of bullish. But remember, not getting fully bullish until we get above this yellow line, the 200 moving average. On the weekly right now, it's bouncing on the 21 moving average. I don't have it on the chart right now, but it's bouncing on that right now. But when we go to this monthly, this is the chart that I kind of like right now, because this is the 34 moving average, looking like we want to go up there and retest that. That's at 31K right now. We had a doji candle right here where we were undecided, and then now we're going to the upside. So we just have to break this major resistance right here, which is this red line, which is showing us a cup and handle, which is a bullish pattern on the daily. So on the monthly, maybe that plays out. You get what I'm saying? Down here on the MACD, looks like maybe in a month or two, this thing might be trying to cross bullish. That doesn't happen very often. Whenever that happens, the Bitcoin price goes on a crazy upside bull run. It happened here and it happened here. You can see both of those times the Bitcoin price performed very, very well to this. Let's also take a look at this 12-month chart. Look at this. Bitcoin hasn't been around that long, so this chart is very small. You can see a pattern building right here. We got 1 year of red, a couple years of green. 1 year red, a couple years of green. 1 year red, a couple years of green. We just had 1 year of red, and this year is starting off green. So we'll see what that means for the Bitcoin price. Put that together with, hey, the bank is going to be getting backup at the very least from the government for about a year. So let me know what you guys think about this entire video. Leave me a comment in the comment box. Check out my website, etcurrency.com. Join my Telegram group. Yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Did I already say that? I don't know if I already said that. Think positive and positive things will happen. RIP to my brother Crypto Roots. Gotta say that in every video. And remember, never finish a negative statement about currency. Till next time. Peace.